All right, welcome back. This is the best part of the show because it's the last interview of the week.
Yay!
Right? So Jessica, we could just relax and we can just, we don't even have to talk. We can just drink our coffee and our water and
just sit back, relax.
Exactly.
Take it easy.
It's 20 after 2. It's Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, we're going to look at some of your paintings, and they're fantastic, actually.
Absolutely. I'm here to talk about it.
Okay, great. And we were talking just before we came on. You're living in Toronto now.
Yep.
And from Beaverton originally.
Yeah.
I think it's good to come up from a small town.
Yeah.
I grew up in a smaller town myself, so.
Yeah. The culture shock of coming to the city and like seeing so much culture and like being engulfed in that. It's just, I like it, and I like how the coming from a small town just like chilled me out to kind of bring me here.
Well, plus, I know where Beaverton is. It's not really that far away, right? So it's like, and me too. It wasn't that far away. So you're always aware of Toronto, right? You're always visiting, so you're somewhat familiar with it, and it's the big city, the big cultural magnet that it is, and that. So I think it's pretty natural for people who have an artistic temperament to want to gravitate
towards it.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah. So tell us about how you decided that you wanted to be an artist and make the move to the big city. Like, what's the story?
Well, I started drawing since I was very little, and then I went to an art high school, and then I went to York University for 3 years and studied art, and then I was highly involved in like community arts for social change, psychology, and fine arts. And then Occupy Toronto started, and it was kind of like a hands-on live experience. Yeah. So once I was there, it just kind of like kicked me into gear of like being involved in my arts and on the streets, and just from there.
So were you down at the park by the church down on King Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, what, 2-3 years ago now?
Yeah. 2011.
And were you there for the whole time?
For the last 2 weeks.
Okay. That, because I was there, I visited there, but only on the very last night.
Yeah.
And it was kind of raining, and there was still snow on the ground, and I mean, it was, and it was in the winter, right? It wasn't like good weather.
No. And it, like I said, of like seeing the rawness, like you really got to understand a little bit more dynamics of like the social like problems that are going on in the city, and like what like street folks are actually really experiencing, and like my drive and will to kind of like understand that and then transform that and kind of like grow as a community. And then that comes through in my arts. Like when I channel art to like inspire people and to like bring them to a higher level.
Okay, so it's going to I see you're wearing a Rock Against the TPP Trans-Pacific Partnership shirt, which is a very political statement, right? As is participating in the whole Occupy thing. But I think it's time to look at one of your paintings now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're very different than all of that, right?
They are.
So let's pull one up, and then we can just kind of chat about it. Because it's almost like I wouldn't have expected this, from a, social activist type of point of view. So look at that now. What is going on in this painting, Jessica?
So that one's called REM, like REM process when you're sleeping.
Right.
A lot of my art forms start with sacred geometry shapes.
I noticed the one in the corner. What is that shape?
So the one that's beside the hand, where the person is sleeping, that one is Metatron's cube. So Yeah, and Metron's cube is supposed to represent when spirit and matter align into one and that they coexist as one. So that form. And then, yeah, I usually starts with channeling sacred geometry shapes, and then some of the colors start to come out, and then the beings start to present themselves out of it. And then sometimes I'll observe them, and their names will come to me, and I'll research them, and they exist somewhere.
So do we know the names of these characters?
No, this one's just called REM.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Metatron's cube, I mean, that's... when you say you're channeling
Yeah.
the shapes, what do you mean by...
So I just, like I said, I just started channel it. So when it comes, like, it's like I have no preconception of what I'm going to paint. I have not thought about it before. Usually it has like a sacred geometry shape on the canvas, and then I channel, like, it's like almost like the energy comes out of the sacred geometry shapes, and then the colors come next, and then some of the beings start to present itself, and then from there I just build and build on it.
Okay, let's look at the next one here. Similar style, and I want to ask you about, and then we've got a detail of this close up on the eyes. Let's watch that, and we can zone in on it. But what is the medium here? Like, what is the technique?
So I use mixed media.
Can we see the zoom in? Sorry.
Yeah. So this one, when I started this piece, I actually started it with the eyes. I had a vision of the eyes, and then I drew the eyes.
Okay.
This one didn't start with sacred geometry shapes. Sometimes I dream of things, and then I bring them out, and this is one that facilitated through that way. For this one, it's mixed media. So all my pieces, I usually work in acrylic and oil-based paint markers, pen and ink, pencil crayons, paint.
So what's this one?
Real
so this is
stones
all those
sometimes.
things?
Yeah.
This is, and how did you start with the eyes? What was that acrylic or?
It's all of the medias.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that's why some of the coloring can get kind of cool. Sometimes, like, people are impressed with the pasteling look that comes out, but also the edginess to it. I get to experiment. This one took a lot of discipline and patience because it's a lot of dotting work. So it's just like layering dot after dot after dot. It took me literally 1.5 years to complete it, and I had to be in a very specific state of like mind frame in order to come back to it, in order to continue working on the piece.
Now, would you also, during that same year, be working on other pieces as well?
Yeah.
So,
And some
okay.
works are more freeing than other works energetically, whereas this work was like very, like, I had to be very humble.
Really?
It's a meditation, very like deep meditation when I was doing it.
Wow.
Because it was just like dot, like layering of dots.
Yeah.
And just to like do that action is a meditation in itself.
Wow. Okay, so let's look at some of these other ones. I mean, they look like they're took so much time to. There's so much detail and.
Yeah.
This one here, in particular, I think.
Yeah, that one's been 3 years off and on. It's almost complete.
It's not finished yet?
It's not finished
So
yet. It's like I wanted to show progress of like people can see.
Yeah.
That's something I'm working on. It's a very like proud piece that I'm working on. That one's called the Triple Goddess.
And so, tell us the story of this, how it started, who those goddesses are.
So the Triple Goddess is just supposed to represent, like what the creator or entity that we may be within. So it's supposed to represent all frames of color, all frames of dimension. It's supposed to represent the male, the female, and the neutral energy in the middle. So it's supposed to represent all genders, all colors, all perspectives, and kind of integrate that into one.
How come there's only 3?
I just used 3 for the triple goddess aspect of it. It's supposed to represent the male and the female on each side, and then the center representing the neutral center of those polarities.
Very cool. That's a really nice piece, and it's not even finished yet. So
Almost there. You'll probably see it.
is it going to be ready for the Raw Artist Show? It will?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody can actually purchase this.
I'm thinking one-of-a-kind print work will be available for this piece particularly.
Okay.
I have quite a few pieces that for the price range that I'm seeking. It will be like out there, but for hopefully we'll see. But like for a price range that I think that people can really afford, there'll be a lot more like one-of-a-kind print work available for that night. And
what does that mean? You wouldn't sell the original then?
I would.
Yeah.
But I do take 3 years seriously.
So they're expensive.
They are expensive,
Right.
yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have another? How many more did we do? I can't remember.
We have one more.
One more. Okay,
Yeah.
let's have a look at this one. Because those three are very similar, but this one is a little bit different.
Yeah, so there'll be pieces available that were kind of precursor to when I really started developing my style. That's one of them. It's actually one of my best sellers. It's a face made of hands.
Where's the face?
Can you see the face?
Made by doing this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. A lot of people don't see the face at first, and then when they start looking at it and they finally see the face, they're like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an earlier style for you've kind of
Transformed.
came back, into this. It's kind of a unique style that I mean, it's really quite unique. These pieces, these more recent works.
Yeah, I'm hoping to explore in a style that you don't averagely see. I have a lot of like ideas on how to like bring in like new contemporary ideas that are gonna kind of break from what you regularly see. So like I'm really excited to kind of change up the art field a bit.
So it's interesting that you can say that because sometimes I just get the impression generally with all arts, music, everything artistic in our culture that we've done it all before.
Yeah.
So to be able to say that you're excited about changing it up a little and bringing something new and fresh, I mean, that's a pretty ambitious statement.
I know, but what I was just trying to say is that I've noticed that there are certain trends.
Yeah.
And I like commercial trends in art, and I'm excited to bring in a different form of that to kind of hopefully get some different style notice.
But it's not meant to be a commercial. This isn't intended to be commercial, is it? It's like,
No.
This is like...
I'm just saying if it were to be like noticed commercially, like it's hard to like get at what I'm trying to say here, but like underground and like to the market of people. Like when I mean commercial, I mean like the market of people, like what the market of people are averagely seeing.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Then there's always the challenge, I
Yeah.
think, of if bringing something new that the public is not ready for,
Absolutely.
then you kind of suffer from maybe
Absolutely.
a commercial point of view, right? But
Absolutely, but I'm wanting to bring in some new elements that the average people aren't seeing.
yeah, but could still really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a common thing that I get told from people that buy my work is that they see my work and they say I haven't seen anything like it. And so that's what I'm talking about.
Now, are you showing at any galleries other than the Raw Artist Show coming up, or where can people see your work?
You can see my work on my Facebook right now.
Okay.
my Facebook is Jessica Watts, Jessica, Watts, Watts. And I will be listing any shows through my Facebook page or facebook.com/The Secrets of the Universes.
Is that what you're bringing out in your work? Some of the secrets of the universe?
Secrets.
What are the secrets?
It's just bringing together like old and new. So
yeah,
it's the best way to put it. Because like a lot of the geometry that I use in my work it's ancient. Mm-hmm. A lot of the deity forms that come out through my work are old names or old deity forms, and I'm just bringing in like some new approach energetically from my experiences and the things that I'm seeing mixed with what I'm channeling, right?
So it almost, you say you're channeling, so you're getting some kind of information from some other realm.
Yeah.
What do they tell you about what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are we going to survive? Jessica, what do you think?
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
My perspective is it just comes down to love. So loving each other, giving to each other, working with each other, being a community. And it's whether or not people are open to that. And that's where it's coming down to. And so for me, it's like being present with that energy of like giving and caring for people and caring for myself. And yeah.
Do you think that in your dealings with people, do you think people are rising energetically to that?
Absolutely. I started out on the street, homeless, 5 years ago, doing this art, and I had people, physically and emotionally abuse me. I had a lot of people toss a lot of stigmas at me, throw garbage at me, etc. Said I was going to fail, but then over time, when you're like working at it and you get right at it with people, mm-hmm. And they see that you're real, mm-hmm. and you're being genuine about this energy, it just grows. And I've watched now people are coming up to me and saying, I'm attracted to this, or I'm pulled to this. My customer base is like exponentially increased. Mm-hmm. The amount of opportunities that are arising are only increasing. So I literally started out with nothing 5 years ago, and to see it rise into something each year, it's just getting better and better.
Now, do you think that is in part due to your own... Did you have to work to find your own humility?
You have to have drive, you have to have will, and you have to believe in what you do. Yeah. Like I believe in my dreams.
Yeah.
But also I feel like people can sense that genuinity, mm-hmm. and people connect with that, mm-hmm. emotionally, like the truth of that. And when that actually occurs, mm-hmm. You start to do better. Is the best way to put it.
So you've been doing something right, and
things are
going.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And it's just like connecting with people.
Okay, well, people will get a chance to connect with you at the
Raw
Artist
Toronto show on December 16th.
So you're going to be there on the Friday?
On the Friday, yeah.
And I guess the doors open at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And you're going to have a booth in there?
Yeah.
And so people can see these works in person?
Yeah.
Right, and get a chance to speak with you and get to know you and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
And do you have a website, or you
just
mentioned
the Facebook page, and then you can reach me at 647-466-1123. That's my business phone number.
Okay, and on Facebook, what was it again? What do they look up? Jessica Watts.
Yeah,
right?
Jessica Watts, and it's under pages.
Yeah.
You can find me there. And yeah, I list anything that's going to be going on. There's going to be lots of cool things that are going to be coming up. I don't want to announce it too early, but there's some big shows and big things going to be
Awesome.
happening.
Well, listen, great to meet you, and wish you the best of luck. And
Blessings.
should be a good show on the 16th. And so people just stay in tune. If you're watching this in the future, just check out our Facebook page and find out what else is coming up.
All right.
Thanks. So I guess that's it for the show today and this week. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll be back next week right here on thatchannel.com. See you then. Yeah.